In the chaos of modern life, we often find ourselves caught in a relentless storm of activity, responsibilities, and stress. Whether it's the pressures of work, maintaining relationships, or dealing with personal challenges, many of us are constantly on edge, feeling as though we're always one step away from being overwhelmed. In moments of tension, when the world seems to be spinning out of control, what we most crave is a sense of calm, a moment where everything slows down, where our mind feels centered and composed, no matter what is happening around us. But achieving this state of calm seems increasingly difficult. It feels as though life is designed to push us into emotional turmoil, bombarding us with notifications, obligations, and uncertainties. We're often left wondering how we can find inner peace in such a demanding world. This is where the wisdom of ancient philosophy, particularly Stoicism, becomes profoundly relevant. Stoicism is not just a philosophy for scholars or those who lived in ancient times. It is a practical guide for navigating the challenges of modern life with grace and tranquility. At its core, Stoicism teaches us how to cultivate a calm, resilient mind, no matter what life throws our way. In this video, we will explore 10 Stoic tips that can help you keep a calm mind in the face of adversity. These teachings are timeless, having guided the likes of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus through the challenges of their lives. And now, these principles can help guide you too, as you learn to weather life's storms with composure, clarity, and peace of mind. Now, if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. To understand how Stoic teachings can help us cultivate a calm mind, it's important to first grasp what Stoicism is at its foundation. Stoicism is an ancient Greco-Roman philosophy that was founded in Athens in the early 3rd century BCE by Zeno of Citium. The philosophy quickly spread, becoming one of the most influential schools of thought during the Roman Empire, where it was practiced by notable figures such as the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher Epictetus, and the statesman Seneca. At its core, Stoicism teaches that the key to a good and peaceful life lies in aligning oneself with nature and focusing on the development of personal virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Stoics believe that we cannot control external events, whether it be the actions of other people, random misfortunes, or the forces of nature, but we can always control our inner response to these events. The central tenet of Stoicism is that by mastering our internal state and acting according to virtue, we can achieve tranquility, or ataraxia, and emotional resilience. Stoicism teaches that our thoughts, judgments, and emotions are under our control, while external events are not. By learning to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, we can avoid unnecessary suffering, reduce anxiety, and live with greater emotional balance. It is a philosophy that urges us to live in harmony with the inevitable ups and downs of life, while maintaining our sense of inner peace. Importance of a calm mind. The Stoics understood something that modern science now confirms. Maintaining a calm mind is essential to living a fulfilling and healthy life. When our minds are calm, we make better decisions, we respond more wisely to challenges, and we are more resilient in the face of adversity. Calmness helps us think clearly and act rationally instead of being swept away by emotional reactions. It allows us to approach problems with perspective and patience, reducing the tendency to make impulsive or harmful choices. In today's fast-paced world, cultivating a calm mind is more important than ever. We're constantly bombarded with information, distractions, and stressors that pull us in different directions. Without strategies to manage this mental noise, we become more susceptible to burnout, anxiety, and depression. A calm mind serves as a powerful antidote to these modern ailments. It gives us the space to reflect before reacting, the ability to focus on what truly matters, and the strength to endure hardships without being emotionally destroyed by them. From a health perspective, the benefits of keeping calm extend far beyond just feeling good in the moment. Chronic stress and anxiety have been linked to a range of physical health issues, including heart disease, high blood pressure, weakened immune systems, and digestive problems. When we're in a constant state of stress, our bodies produce excessive amounts of cortisol, a hormone that, in high levels, can have damaging effects over time. By practicing calmness, we can reduce these stress-related health risks and improve our overall well-being. So how does Stoicism help us stay calm? Stoic philosophy offers practical tools for managing our thoughts and emotions. It teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept with grace what we cannot. It encourages us to reflect deeply on our values and to live according to them, rather than being driven by fleeting desires or external pressures. Through the Stoic practices of mindfulness, reflection, and discipline, we can learn to remain centered and composed, even in the face of uncertainty and turmoil. The tips we'll explore in this video draw from some of the most powerful Stoic teachings, many of which are lesser known but deeply transformative. These insights will not only help you maintain a calm mind, but also equip you with a mindset that fosters resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. Now, let's dive into the first of these Stoic principles, learning to control what you can and accepting what you cannot. Tip 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. One of the most important and fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This concept, made famous by the philosopher Epictetus, is the cornerstone of Stoic thought and the key to achieving a calm mind. The basic idea is simple but profound. There are some things in life that we can control, and there are others that we cannot. By understanding and accepting this distinction, we can free ourselves from a great deal of anxiety and frustration. According to Epictetus, there are two categories of things in life: those that are up to us and those that are not. The things that are up to us include our own thoughts, emotions, actions, and choices. In other words, we have complete control over how we choose to respond to situations, how we interpret events, and how we behave in the face of challenges. On the other hand, there are many things that are not up to us. These include other people's opinions, actions, the outcomes of events, and external circumstances beyond our influence. Epictetus teaches that we should focus only on what is within our control, while calmly accepting the things that are outside of our control. When we worry about things that we cannot influence, we waste our energy and create unnecessary stress for ourselves. Instead, the Stoic approach is to direct our efforts toward mastering our own mind and behavior, as this is where our true power lies. By doing so, we cultivate a sense of inner calm that cannot be easily shaken by external events. For example, imagine you're driving to an important meeting and get stuck in traffic. The traffic is something that is completely outside of your control. No matter how much you wish it away, you're powerless to change the situation. However, what is within your control is how you respond to this delay. You can choose to get frustrated, honk your horn, and let stress overwhelm you. Or you can choose to accept the situation with equanimity, knowing that your reaction is something you can control. By practicing the latter, you maintain a calm mind and avoid unnecessary emotional distress. This principle applies to every aspect of life. Whether you're dealing with a difficult colleague, an unexpected illness, or a financial setback, Stoicism teaches that your peace of mind comes from focusing on what you can control, your own thoughts and actions, rather than getting caught up in what you cannot. Applying the dichotomy of control in daily life requires mindfulness and practice. One way to start is by consciously asking yourself, in any stressful situation, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, remind yourself that your energy is better spent focusing on what you can influence, which is often your attitude and response. For instance, in relationships, we cannot control how other people behave or what they think of us, but we can control how we treat them and how we react to their behavior. In professional settings, we cannot always control outcomes, like whether we get a promotion or how a project turns out, but we can control the effort we put in and how we handle setbacks. By making this mental shift, we free ourselves from much of the frustration that comes from trying to change things that are beyond our power. A helpful practice is to reflect daily on the events that happened throughout your day and categorize them into two groups: what was within your control and what was not. This reflection will help you gain clarity on where to focus your energy and attention. Over time, you'll find that you become less reactive to external events and more centered in your own actions and thoughts. The psychological benefits of adopting the dichotomy of control are significant. By focusing only on what you can control, you reduce feelings of helplessness and anxiety, which are often triggered by events outside of our influence. This practice can help alleviate chronic stress as you learn to stop fixating on things that you cannot change. In addition to the mental benefits, this shift in perspective can lead to improved physical health. By reducing stress, you lower the risk of stress-related health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, and insomnia. When you're no longer constantly worrying about things beyond your control, your body has a chance to relax, which allows for better immune function and overall well-being. Tip 2. Practice negative visualization. Another lesser-known but highly effective Stoic practice for cultivating a calm mind is negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. Why would thinking about worst-case scenarios help you stay calm? However, this practice is not about dwelling on negativity. Instead, it helps you build resilience and appreciation for the present. Negative visualization involves consciously imagining worst-case scenarios in order to prepare yourself emotionally for adversity. The Stoics believed that by regularly contemplating potential misfortunes, we could reduce the fear of them happening and strengthen our ability to face challenges with calm and equanimity. For example, you might imagine losing your job, facing a serious illness, or experiencing the death of a loved one. These are undoubtedly painful scenarios to think about, but by mentally rehearsing them, you begin to familiarize yourself with the emotions that such situations might bring. As a result, when life inevitably throws challenges your way, you're better equipped to handle them because you've already prepared yourself mentally. The goal of negative visualization is not to become morbid or pessimistic, but to develop emotional resilience and to cultivate gratitude for the good things you currently have. By regularly practicing this form of visualization, you become less attached to the idea that life should always be comfortable and perfect. Instead, you embrace the Stoic understanding that hardship is a natural part of life. When adversity strikes, you're less likely to be overwhelmed because you've already considered the possibility and you've developed the mental strength to cope with it. How to practice negative visualization. To practice negative visualization, Find a quiet moment in your day where you can sit undisturbed for a few minutes. Close your eyes and calmly reflect on a potential misfortune that could occur in your life. It could be something minor, like losing a material possession, or something more significant, like the loss of a relationship or a health issue. Visualize the event in detail. What emotions would arise? How would you cope? What actions would you take? The key to negative visualization is to remain emotionally detached as you visualize these scenarios. You're not trying to scare yourself or induce anxiety. Instead, you're training your mind to accept that these events could happen and that you have the inner strength to deal with them. Once you've spent a few minutes imagining the scenario, shift your focus to the present and appreciate the fact that this misfortune has not occurred. By contrasting the worst-case scenario with your current reality, you'll feel a renewed sense of gratitude for the life you have. This practice can be done daily or weekly, depending on what feels right for you. Over time, you'll find that you're less fearful of the unknown and more grounded in the present moment. The practice of negative visualization offers several psychological and emotional benefits. By regularly imagining worst-case scenarios, you reduce the power that fear has over you. Fear of the unknown is one of the primary sources of anxiety, but when you confront those fears head-on through visualization, you begin to see that you have the strength to face them. Additionally, negative visualization fosters a deeper appreciation for the present. When you reflect on how much worse things could be, you're less likely to take your current circumstances for granted. This mindset shift can lead to a greater sense of contentment and happiness, even in the face of life's challenges. From a health perspective, reducing fear and anxiety has a direct impact on physical well-being. When we're less anxious, our bodies produce fewer stress hormones like cortisol, which can lead to better sleep, improved immune function, and a lower risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. By practicing negative visualization, you're not only strengthening your mind, but also protecting your body from the harmful effects of stress. Manizi. Tip 3. Detach from external validation. One of the most pervasive sources of emotional distress in modern life is our tendency to rely on external validation. Whether it's seeking approval from colleagues, friends, or even strangers on social media, we often base our self-worth on how others perceive us. This constant craving for validation can lead to a fragile sense of self, one that is easily shattered by criticism or rejection. Stoicism teaches us that true calm and emotional stability come from within, not from the opinions or judgments of others. By learning to detach from external validation, we free ourselves from the emotional highs and lows that come from seeking approval. The Stoics were clear in their teachings. The opinions of others are outside our control, and therefore they should not have power over our emotional well-being. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, repeatedly reminded himself not to be swayed by either praise or criticism, as both are fleeting and often based on superficial judgments. He understood that the value of a person is not determined by what others think, but by their own virtuous actions and character. Seneca, another great Stoic thinker, echoed this sentiment. He advised that we should not place our happiness in the hands of others because external opinions are fickle and unreliable. People may praise us today and criticize us tomorrow, often for reasons that have little to do with our true worth. Therefore, basing our sense of self on how others view us is a recipe for emotional instability. Instead, the Stoics urged us to focus on living according to our own values and principles. If we act virtuously and stay true to our inner moral compass, we can remain calm and centered, regardless of whether others approve or disapprove. Detaching from external validation doesn't mean that we should become indifferent to the opinions of others or ignore constructive feedback. Instead, it means that we should not let our self-worth be determined by those opinions. Cultivating internal validation begins with recognizing that true self-esteem comes from living in alignment with our values and principles, rather than from the approval of others. To cultivate this mindset, it's helpful to regularly reflect on your values and actions. Ask yourself, am I acting in accordance with my values, regardless of how others perceive me? Am I making choices that align with my principles, even if they go against popular opinion? By grounding your sense of self in your own virtuous behavior, you become less dependent on external validation and more resilient in the face of criticism. One practical way to detach from external validation is to practice self-reflection at the end of each day. Take a few moments to review your actions and decisions, not in terms of how others may have reacted, but in terms of whether you acted with integrity. If you find that you've acted according to your values, give yourself credit. Over time, this habit of internal reflection will help strengthen your sense of self-worth, independent of external approval. Another technique is to reduce your exposure to sources of superficial validation, such as social media. The constant barrage of likes, comments, and shares can create a cycle of seeking approval from others, often for things that don't truly matter. By taking regular breaks from these platforms and focusing on what you can control, your own actions and values, you can begin to cultivate a deeper, more stable sense of self. Detaching from external validation has profound benefits for mental and emotional well-being. When we no longer base our self-worth on the opinions of others, we become less susceptible to feelings of inadequacy or insecurity. This shift in perspective reduces anxiety, as we're no longer constantly worried about how we're being perceived. Instead, we can focus on what truly matters, our own growth, virtues, and integrity. This emotional resilience also has positive effects on physical health. Studies have shown that people who are less concerned with external validation tend to experience lower levels of stress and anxiety. By cultivating internal validation, you can reduce the physical symptoms of stress, such as high blood pressure, tension, and insomnia. Moreover, a stronger sense of self-worth contributes to greater emotional stability, which in turn supports overall mental health. In summary, by learning to detach from external validation, you free yourself from the emotional turbulence that comes from relying on others' opinions. This practice not only leads to a calmer mind, but also improves your physical and mental well-being. You have now reached the halfway mark of the video. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write "better" every day, so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. Tip 4. Embrace voluntary discomfort. The pursuit of comfort is a driving force in modern society. From technological conveniences to luxuries that make life easier, we are constantly seeking ways to avoid discomfort. However, Stoicism teaches that the path to a calm and resilient mind often requires embracing discomfort rather than avoiding it. The Stoics believed that voluntary discomfort, deliberately putting oneself in challenging situations, builds mental strength and prepares us to face life's inevitable hardships with greater equanimity. One of the most powerful Stoic exercises is the practice of voluntary hardship. This involves intentionally subjecting oneself to discomfort or deprivation to cultivate resilience and self-control. The Stoics believed that by practicing discomfort in controlled settings, we become better prepared to handle difficult situations when they arise unexpectedly. Seneca wrote extensively about this practice in his letters, where he described deliberately living on minimal food and in basic conditions, even though he was a wealthy man. He did this to remind himself that luxury is not a necessity and that he could endure discomfort without suffering. By periodically depriving himself of comfort, Seneca strengthened his ability to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. He understood that hardship is an inevitable part of life, and by practicing voluntary discomfort, he became less vulnerable to the anxiety that often accompanies unexpected difficulties. This practice also helps us break the habit of overindulgence. In modern life, where convenience and abundance are readily available, it's easy to become attached to comfort and pleasure. However, Stoicism teaches that these attachments can lead to dependency and a fragile sense of well-being. By intentionally stepping outside our comfort zone, whether through fasting, cold showers, physical exercise, or other forms of voluntary discomfort, we develop mental toughness and the ability to face life's challenges with greater calm. Embracing voluntary discomfort doesn't mean you have to live a life of constant hardship or deprivation. Instead, it's about periodically challenging yourself to step outside your comfort zone in small, manageable ways. The goal is not to punish yourself, but to build mental strength and resilience. One way to implement this practice is to incorporate small acts of discomfort into your daily routine. For example, you might choose to take a cold shower instead of a warm one, skip a meal once a week, or walk instead of driving. These small challenges help you build tolerance for discomfort and remind you that you are capable of enduring hardship without losing your calm. Another approach is to engage in more significant acts of voluntary discomfort from time to time. This could involve going on a retreat where you live with minimal comforts, or challenging yourself to complete a physically demanding task, such as a long hike or a fitness challenge. By periodically subjecting yourself to controlled discomfort, you strengthen your ability to remain composed in the face of adversity. It's important to approach this practice with a mindset of growth rather than deprivation. The purpose of voluntary discomfort is not to make life miserable, but to cultivate a sense of inner strength and resilience. By voluntarily embracing discomfort, you prepare yourself for the inevitable hardships that life will bring, making you less likely to be overwhelmed when challenges arise. The benefits of embracing voluntary discomfort extend beyond mental toughness. By training yourself to endure discomfort, you reduce your dependency on external comforts and pleasures, which can lead to greater emotional stability. When you no longer need constant comfort to feel content, you experience less anxiety and are better able to handle life's uncertainties. Moreover, the physical benefits of voluntary discomfort are well documented. For example, intermittent fasting, a practice that involves voluntarily abstaining from food for certain periods, has been shown to improve metabolic health, reduce inflammation, and support longevity. Similarly, cold exposure, such as taking cold showers, has been linked to improved circulation, boosted immune function, and enhanced mental clarity. From a psychological perspective, voluntary discomfort teaches you to embrace challenges rather than avoid them, which can lead to a greater sense of confidence and self-efficacy. This mindset shift helps reduce stress and anxiety, as you learn to view discomfort as an opportunity for growth rather than something to be feared. In conclusion, by practicing voluntary discomfort, you build both mental and physical resilience, allowing you to maintain a calm and composed mind even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Tip 5. Remember the impermanence of everything. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the concept of impermanence, the idea that everything in life is fleeting and subject to change. The Stoics believed that by constantly reminding ourselves of the impermanence of all things, we can develop a deeper sense of calm and detachment from the ups and downs of life. This practice, known as memento mori, or the meditation on death, is not meant to be morbid, but rather to foster a sense of perspective and gratitude for the present moment. Memento mori, remembering mortality. Memento mori is one of the most powerful Stoic practices, and it involves reflecting on the inevitability of death. The Stoics believed that by regularly contemplating our own mortality, we become less attached to the trivial concerns of daily life and more focused on living virtuously. This practice helps us realize that life is short and that many of the things we worry about, such as material possessions, social status, or the opinions of others, are ultimately insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminded himself that life is fleeting and that death could come at any moment. This wasn't meant to induce fear, but to encourage a sense of urgency in living a meaningful life. By accepting the inevitability of death, we free ourselves from the fear of it, and this liberation allows us to live more fully in the present. Reflecting on impermanence also helps us deal with loss and change in a more composed manner. When we recognize that everything, from our possessions to our relationships, is temporary, we can learn to appreciate them without becoming overly attached. This detachment doesn't mean that we stop caring, but rather that we cultivate a sense of acceptance when things inevitably come to an end. The practice of memento mori can be integrated into daily life in several ways. One simple method is to take a few moments each day to reflect on your own mortality. This can be done during meditation, journaling, or even in quiet contemplation. Ask yourself, how would I live today if I knew it was my last? What truly matters in the limited time I have? By reflecting on these questions, you gain clarity on what is truly important and what is not worth your worry. Another approach is to use physical reminders of impermanence, such as wearing a piece of jewelry or keeping a small object that symbolizes mortality, like a skull or an hourglass. These reminders can help keep the concept of memento mori at the forefront of your mind, encouraging you to live with greater intention and calm. In addition to contemplating your own mortality, it can be helpful to reflect on the impermanence of external things. Consider the transient nature of material possessions, social status, and even relationships. By acknowledging that everything is temporary, you can develop a healthier relationship with these aspects of life, appreciating them without becoming overly attached. The practice of memento mori offers numerous psychological and emotional benefits. By accepting the inevitability of death, we free ourselves from the fear that often drives anxiety and stress. This acceptance allows us to live more fully in the present moment, rather than constantly worrying about the future. It also helps us let go of attachments to things that don't truly matter, leading to a greater sense of peace and contentment. From a health perspective, reducing fear and anxiety through the practice of memento mori can have positive effects on the body. Chronic stress and fear are known to contribute to a range of physical health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, and weakened immune function. By confronting and accepting the reality of mortality, we can reduce the physiological effects of fear and cultivate a more relaxed state of being. In summary, by remembering the impermanence of everything, we gain a deeper sense of calm and perspective, allowing us to live with greater gratitude and less fear. This practice not only strengthens our mental resilience, but also supports our overall health and well-being. Tip 6. Focus on virtue, not outcomes. In a world where success is often measured by external accomplishments, status, wealth, recognition, Stoicism offers a radically different perspective. Rather than being consumed by the pursuit of external results, the Stoics teach that we should focus on living virtuously. According to Stoicism, the only true measure of success is whether we are acting in accordance with our moral principles, regardless of the outcomes. This shift in focus from outcomes to virtues is a powerful way to maintain a calm mind because it frees us from the anxiety of trying to control things beyond our influence. At the heart of Stoicism is the concept of virtue, which the Stoics defined as the highest good. To them, living a virtuous life meant cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These four cardinal virtues were seen as the foundation for a life of tranquility and moral integrity. The Stoics believed that external circumstances, whether fortunate or unfortunate, were indifferent. They held no intrinsic value. What truly mattered was how a person responded to these circumstances, and whether they did so in alignment with virtue. For example, consider the case of a Stoic facing a major setback at work. From the perspective of someone focused solely on outcomes, the setback might be seen as a failure. However, a Stoic would ask a different question. Did I act with integrity, diligence, and fairness throughout the situation? If the answer is yes, then the Stoic can remain calm and content, knowing that they acted virtuously, even if the outcome was not what they desired. The Stoic emphasis on virtue rather than outcomes provides a sense of inner stability. When we base our self-worth and happiness on external factors, like success, praise, or wealth, we are vulnerable to disappointment and emotional turmoil because these things are often outside our control. By focusing on virtue, we anchor ourselves to something that is entirely within our control, our own behavior and moral choices. This shift not only brings peace of mind, but also helps us navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Living a virtuous life in accordance with Stoic principles involves a conscious effort to prioritize your moral values in every decision you make. The first step is to clarify what your personal virtues are and how they align with the four Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Take time to reflect on what each virtue means to you and how you can embody them in your daily actions. Once you have a clear understanding of your values, the next step is to apply them in your daily life. Before making decisions, ask yourself, am I acting in a way that aligns with my virtues? For example, if you are faced with a difficult decision at work, consider whether your choice reflects fairness, justice, whether it requires you to overcome fear, courage, and whether you are making a thoughtful and informed decision, wisdom. By consistently acting in accordance with virtue, you can maintain a sense of inner peace, even in the face of external difficulties. It is also helpful to remind yourself regularly that outcomes are not the true measure of success. After completing a task or facing a challenge, take time to reflect on whether you acted in alignment with your values. If the answer is yes, then you can be content, regardless of the result. This practice of reflection helps reinforce the Stoic mindset of focusing on virtue rather than outcomes, allowing you to remain calm and centered. Focusing on virtue rather than outcomes has profound psychological and emotional benefits. When we base our happiness and sense of worth on external results, we are constantly at the mercy of forces beyond our control. This can lead to anxiety, stress, and emotional instability, especially when things don't go as planned. However, by shifting our focus to what we can control, our own actions and virtues, we free ourselves from this emotional roller coaster. This change in perspective can significantly reduce stress, as we no longer feel pressured to achieve specific outcomes. Instead, we can take pride in the fact that we acted with integrity and virtue, regardless of what happens. This reduction in stress has positive effects on our physical health as well, leading to lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and reducing the risk of stress-related health issues such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and insomnia. Moreover, by cultivating a virtuous mindset, we develop greater emotional resilience. When challenges arise, we are better equipped to handle them with calmness and clarity because we are not fixated on controlling the uncontrollable. This inner stability contributes to overall well-being, allowing us to live more peaceful and fulfilling lives. Tip 7. Maintain a journal for self-reflection. The Stoics placed great importance on self-reflection, and one of the most powerful tools they used for this purpose was journaling. The practice of keeping a daily journal allows us to reflect on our thoughts, actions, and emotions in a structured way, helping us develop greater self-awareness and clarity. For the Stoics, journaling was a way to hold themselves accountable, to track their progress in living a virtuous life, and to maintain a calm, centered mind. The most famous example of Stoic journaling comes from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. His Meditations is essentially a personal journal filled with reflections on how to live virtuously and maintain tranquility in the face of life's challenges. Marcus Aurelius used his journal as a way to remind himself of key Stoic principles, to reflect on his behavior, and to confront his own weaknesses. Importantly, his journal was not written for public consumption. It was a private tool for his own self-improvement. Journaling provides an opportunity to step back from the noise and distractions of daily life and to examine your thoughts and actions with a calm, objective eye. By writing about your experiences and reflecting on how you responded to them, you gain valuable insights into your behavior, your emotional triggers, and the areas in which you can improve. Over time, this practice helps you develop greater self-awareness and emotional regulation, which are essential for maintaining a calm mind. For the Stoics, journaling was also a way to remind themselves of key philosophical principles. By writing down Stoic teachings and reflecting on how they applied to their lives, they reinforced their understanding of these principles and ensured that they stayed on track in their pursuit of virtue. This process of daily reflection helped them remain calm and composed, even in the face of challenges and adversity. Starting a Stoic journal is a simple but powerful practice that can have a profound impact on your mental and emotional well-being. The key to effective journaling is consistency. Set aside a few minutes each day to reflect on your thoughts and actions. There are many different approaches to Stoic journaling, but a common structure involves 3 key components. 1. Morning reflection. At the start of each day, take a few moments to reflect on the challenges you may face and how you intend to respond to them. Ask yourself, what virtues do I want to cultivate today? What obstacles might arise, and how can I approach them with calmness and wisdom? This morning reflection helps set a Stoic mindset for the day, preparing you to handle difficulties with grace. 2. Evening reflection. At the end of the day, review your actions and decisions. Ask yourself, did I act in accordance with my virtues today? How did I handle challenges? What could I have done better? This evening reflection allows you to assess your progress and identify areas for improvement. By regularly reviewing your behavior, you can make small adjustments and steadily improve your ability to maintain a calm mind. 3. Stoic Teachings. In addition to reflecting on your own actions, use your journal to write down and explore Stoic teachings. You might choose a quote from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus to reflect on each day. Ask yourself, how does this teaching apply to my life? How can I embody this principle in my actions? By regularly engaging with Stoic philosophy, you reinforce your understanding of these ideas and deepen your practice. Your journal is a personal tool for self-improvement, so don't worry about how it looks or whether it's perfect. The goal is to use the practice of writing as a way to reflect, gain insight, and stay grounded in your pursuit of calmness and virtue. The benefits of journaling extend far beyond the psychological realm. Research has shown that journaling can have a range of positive effects on mental health, including reduced stress, improved mood, and greater emotional clarity. By regularly writing about your thoughts and emotions, you create a space for self-expression and emotional release, which can help prevent feelings of overwhelm. Journaling also enhances self-awareness, which is critical for emotional regulation. When you're more aware of your thoughts and behaviors, you're better able to recognize patterns that contribute to stress or anxiety, allowing you to make conscious changes. This increased self-awareness leads to better emotional resilience, helping you stay calm in challenging situations. From a physical health perspective, journaling has been linked to lower blood pressure, improved immune function, and better sleep. The act of reflecting on your day and processing your emotions can help reduce the mental load you carry, allowing your body to relax and recover more effectively. This makes journaling not only a tool for mental clarity, but also a valuable practice for overall well-being. In conclusion, maintaining a Stoic journal is a powerful way to cultivate a calm mind, improve self-awareness, and live in alignment with your values. By reflecting on your thoughts and actions each day, you develop greater emotional regulation and resilience, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with clarity and composure. Personall. Tip 8. Cultivate gratitude for the present moment. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to anxiety, stress, and dissatisfaction. The Stoics recognize that by focusing on what we already have, rather than what we lack, we can cultivate a deep sense of contentment and tranquility. In a world that often encourages us to chase after more success, more possessions, more recognition, the Stoic practice of gratitude reminds us that true happiness comes from appreciating the present moment. The Stoics believed that everything we have in life is a gift, and that by recognizing the impermanence of all things, we can develop a greater appreciation for what we currently possess. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminded himself to be grateful for the people, experiences, and opportunities in his life, understanding that none of them were guaranteed to last. This practice of gratitude helped him maintain a calm and composed mind, even in the face of adversity. Seneca also spoke of the importance of gratitude, noting that by focusing on what we already have, we reduce our desire for more and free ourselves from the constant pursuit of external rewards. He believed that contentment comes not from acquiring more, but from appreciating what we already have. This Stoic approach to gratitude encourages us to shift our focus away from what is missing and towards the abundance that is already present in our lives. Cultivating gratitude can be a simple but transformative practice. One of the most effective ways to develop gratitude is through regular reflection. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on what you are grateful for. This could be as simple as appreciating the beauty of nature, the support of loved ones, or the opportunities you have in your life. One practical exercise is to keep a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. This practice helps train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life rather than dwelling on what is lacking or what has gone wrong. By consistently practicing gratitude, you create a habit of looking for the good in every situation, which fosters a calm and contented mind. Another powerful Stoic exercise is to imagine losing the things you value. This is an extension of negative visualization, where you reflect on the potential loss of something you cherish. a loved one, your health, or your home, and then return to the present with a renewed sense of gratitude for what you still have. This practice helps counter the tendency to take things for granted and deepens your appreciation for the present moment. The psychological and emotional benefits of gratitude are well documented. Research has shown that practicing gratitude can significantly improve mental health by reducing symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we experience greater satisfaction and contentment, which leads to improved emotional well-being. From a physical health perspective, gratitude has been linked to lower blood pressure, improved immune function, and better sleep. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, you reduce the stress response in your body, allowing it to function more optimally. Gratitude also promotes positive social interactions, as it encourages feelings of connection, compassion, and empathy, all of which contribute to overall well-being. In conclusion, cultivating gratitude is a simple yet profound practice that can have a transformative impact on your mental and physical health. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you develop a sense of contentment and inner peace, allowing you to navigate life with a calm and grateful heart. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos, and if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.